Well, at the very least, you can probably guess which character I have out. Anyway, salutation, darlings. Observing here, bringing you some more Genshin Impact. This time, we're going to try to complete that pesky sacred Sakura cleansing ritual. Like, for instance, you know, to do what I normally do, make sure everything runs really smooth. I have to sort of disappoint myself. This, hmm. Moment of hesitation. I'm not sure I saw it. Okay. Okay. Give me a second. I am normally better prepared than this, but apparently, like, my response of today is meh, just good enough. Although I will say, absolutely no reason to fear, darlings. Huh. And I clicked on a thing that I probably shouldn't have clicked on. Wait. Huh. Okay, if I can find out where that thing went. Page cannot. Heard nothing. Should. Goodness gracious. God damn it. You. Anyway, let's get back to our regularly scheduled video. You know, it does occur to me that I have no idea if I'm saying mihoyo right. I just always figured that's how you say it. And well, at the very least, I don't think I've heard my cousin cringing at my pronunciation. And if he's not cringing, that's a good sign that I'm actually pronouncing it right for once. For once. Alright. If you would connect. Hello? Twitch, how are you? Hello? Mention impact.exe. There we go. There we go. Harkening back to times of old. Even though it wasn't that long ago and I pretty much always showed up on the first screen. Oh, Anyway, now it's running so much better. Anyway. One bad part about running this team, no electric. So I can't get all of those Sakura in the actual hell. Anyway, darlings, so I was reading up on the thing. The only place that I can think to go is this well. Yes, if I have this. No. Anyway, the only place I can think to go is this well. And if you're curious at why, it's basically the description. In order to complete the Sakura cleansing ritual, one must break the barrier in 5 places and destroy the defilement incarnate that will then come forth. Besides Kanda Village and the abandoned shrine, there are 3 places where the barrier surrounds Thunder Sakura roots, Kinju Forest, excuse me, which we did. Aruma, which I'm not quite sure exactly where it is, and below the tidal flats outside the Komoso estate. So that underground place that we ended up in last time. So she says that she will await you at the Thunder Sakura route below in Konda Village. Well,
the damned will sooner die.
Yeah, we are in Konda Village. This is the well.
Lay a hand on me.
I'm just looking for like a little bit of assistance, a little guidance. And you know, if I could speak to the kitsune lady who may or may not be from the past, that would be great. Yeah, see, there she is. Yo. Ah, yes. I very specifically have to get the thing and climb back to the very top because I, like a fool, just jumped off. I mean, to be fair, it's a bit out of the way. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Anyway. Yo. We meet again. Although it is busy. Other barriers. Apart from Kanji Forest, there's a barrier in a place called Mari. Finally, there's a pit in a beach. Find the final barrier. That is where you find the final barrier. Okay, so that's probably the last one that we should go to. And apparently she's just here as a hint. Find the ward, and the past the ward was good. Sky Kitsune, but after everything changed, Sky and Earth eventually refused to show up. It said sleeping away for return. If you want to find the ward, look for the Sky Kitsune around the seal. That should be a special box statue. If you're having difficulties, try to find the Earth Kitsune nearby, or use the lens to see if there are any clues. Okay. Basically telling me what we already know. Let's find the Aramuni. I'm most likely butchering that. Aramuni. I mean, if anything, Amiki Inazu playing Konda Village Inju Forest. Oh, up here! Oh! Huh. I think I might know exactly where I need to go. Oh. Okay. Yeah.
Boring. Useless.
Yeah, like, on practically our first day, we were just, like, wandering around here like toddlers. And I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. What do I do here? Okay, so let's say that the Sky Kitsune is looking at the Earth Kitsune, which it is very much not, because I just... Okay, where's the little Earth Kitsune who wants to show me something that I haven't seen before? You looking at anything in particular, or are you just standing guard? Oh! I just now noticed that guy. Okie dokie, we're not going that way. I'm curious, is there anything over here? I mean, there's like this crevice under rocks. I would hide something here. And that's how you know I do suppose. Oh, la 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 la. I'm curious, is there any possible way? No. Remind me, what is this team? Ice, water, electric, wind. No fire. I was going to go for amber, but it's... Well, let's see. Hmm. Did that do all of them? Or... Two, 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 and two. I do find it interesting. They all have to be the same. It doesn't quite matter what type of same. Anyway, don't mind that, darling. Hmm.
Useless.
Okay. Yeah. We're looking for a little Earth Kitten who wants to tell us what's up. So somehow we have to get down here. But for all of my maneuvering around here ages ago, I never actually saw anything that was just like, ah, yes, that. It's like we have this lens of truth, which shows us things that are otherwise invisible to us. And yet, if you notice, none of these little kittens glowing. Like, not a one, not even a little bit. I have to wonder, is it a bit further away? Like, this is definitely the place. But just like, where? Hmm. Oh my goodness. Huh? Right. But that is just a temptation. How are we supposed to find one kitsune in a batch? When all of the other kitsunes that we have stumbled across have simply had no interest in showing us anything. Hmm. Don't mind me just sort of wandering around the vicinity. Yeah, no, we've definitely gone too far. The Sakura roots that has become a tree is right over there. It's an absolutely lovely thing. But therein lies the million-dollar question. Where is the little Earth kitsune that wants to show us the world? If the Sky kitsunes are here, there, everywhere. Hmm. Well. Oh, Oh, diddly dum.
Worthless.
Wait, did I never press this? Oh my god, I am a fool. I just freaking never pressed the goddamn button. Oh my god. And then that's how you would get out. And you have these kitsunes, which are here to show you everything. I'm so sorry. Button. Hmm? Hmm. Another button. Anyway, darlings, I found it. There's a flat statue with the ward right there. I gotta use Electro. Of course you gotta use Electro. You always got to use Electro. Almost had you there for a second, I'm sure. Roll-shaped ward, a mysterious item. Must be one of the berries that the Shining was talking about. One, then if this is one, there's one there, there. Are there two? Mm-hmm. Memento. So this one should also be. Can I just say I love the sounds these make? I mean, just listen to.
What's one more potent?
Come a little closer.
That won't work. Dodge this.
Go, go, Baron Bunny!
Cheap tricks.
Blitz. Ha, don't be such a brute.
Excuse you.
Let's spark things up a little. Let it rain.
Cheap tricks. Fall before me.
You do not see me.
Blitz.
Okay, just barely got him.
Cool it. Freeze.
Lightning flash.
No, hiccups are the absolute worst.
Lightning flash.
Dodge this. I'm ready. Cut like this.
Oh boy. I'm done. Closer to finishing this exam, so... Oh, Paimon's thinking this right made no chub. Nope, we just saw her. Alright, let's see. Over here. Want the lizard. Hmm. A little silly.
You. Get.
Why didn't this one turn? What did it?
Hit.
Hmm.
Hit.
Okay, these two are the same. This one's correct. This one is one off.
Get. You. Hup. Hit. Hup. Get.
I somehow did it again.
Hup. Hit. Get. Hup.
Hmm.
Hit.
Needs 3. This one needs 2.
Hit. Get. Hit. Hit. Hup.
That one's off by 1, and now this one's off by 1. Oh, yeah, off by 2. Hmm. You're seeing my brain work real time. Probably drains the water there. one off, but now this one, and it's one behind. Okay, I really wish I could scroll out more because I need to look at more of the thing. Right, wait a minute. I'm gonna be over it. Yep, you're right. He made a bet with me after all. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, wow. Well, it's such a shame that I'm not leaving. Where was... Huh? Oh my goodness. Okay.
What's the hurry?
Pet lizard? Fifth legend. Oh, it's no longer Pith's lizard, it's my lizard. Uh, okay. I'm definitely closer. Okay. Same thing? Just in second verse, same as the first. God damn it. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Do this, it'll just turn this way, and it won't make it, and it'll turn both of those this way. Okay, now this one's completely backwards. Wait, it moved one because it went from here to here. So whatever the hell I did, I need to do. You're not done. You're over here. One, I say this. one needs to be moved once. Hit this one, this will be correct. Hmm. Okay, and now this one is back. I need to do that again. First, this one was over here, and now this one is in the back. Wait. This back. So if I hit this one, okay, so they're all off by one. Then if I do this one, and then I do this one. Well, no! Ugh, I felt like I had it that time. And if I hit this one or this one, they'll be out of sync by freaking one point. And I'm literally back to where I started. Let's try hitting that. 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 No, that made the same problem. Base. Wait. Yes! I BS'd that like hell.
Cool it.
Huh.
Freeze.
You know, I can never decide if splunking sounds absolutely delightful or absolutely. On one hand, it's spelunking, but on the other hand, it's splunking. Both our characters kind of suck at swimming. Ooh. Thank goodness I wasn't out of stamina. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I just walked into that hole. And I almost did it again. Well. Really? Okay. Goodness gracious. Apparently tonight is not my night. Is everything running smoothly, at least on this end? It is. Oh god, no, it's not. Network issues? Hmm. Damn it, how do I... Anyway, darlings, ugh. Just hope that this has... That's by 2. Shouldn't have done that. God damn it, what I meant to. Wow. God damn it. Okay. Okay. Backwards. That's not the one I meant to do. And if I turn these two forward, then that one's going to be behind by 1. Aha! Got it. Anyway, well, let's move on. I jumped down here fully expecting to be drenched in water and...
Get him! not to enjoy.
No escape!
This moment will be frozen.
Bellowing thunder!
Dodge this.
You're in for a little shock. Blitz.
Cool it. Freeze.
Oops! Go for freaking hell. Oh my god. And also, Amber, why did
Bet you can't keep up with me! Hey! Oh no. I'm gonna ruin my gloves. Lightning flash!
you no. Oh boy. I am in a small room with a whirly mech.
Surrender and only.
No one escapes my...
Don't get frostbite.
Ah! Take this! Go, go, Baron Bunny!
Cool it. Freeze.
Get him!
Yeah, I don't understand it either. You probably have no idea what it is I'm talking about. Okay. So this thing my cousin sent me was like this Genshin Impact meme. And it was, this is the room. I wanna be in the room where it happens. Really? I broke that for seaweed. Sure.
What's the hurry?
Because of course it is. Anyway, the meme was basically just like pointing out how Inazuma common chests are like basically like that, guarded by 2 rune guards. But like these epic and legendary chests have just been just there, just existing.
What's
You
the
know,
hurry?
I was up there wondering how I was gonna get down here. And I knew exactly how to get that. Anyway, just wanting to make sure that this is leading exactly where I thought it leads, and there's that
Catch
one.
the wind.
Okay. So we can continue our underground adventure. Apparently we are going this way. Let's see. For a second I thought it saw me and I was going to see like I'm dying on the inside. Whoa, halfway there. You're standing on the stairs. I need any fancy smashy like. Oh.
Yeah! Here we go!
I must leave no.
Give up. For it. Lament. Here. Here. Worthless.
Do not feel any mercy for these robots. Joe, let go. Get out of the route, Joe.
Here.
Yahoo!
Don't waste my time.
Come on, and done. Okay. Well, it looks like we shall find that. 2 shield ones. One is being stupid.
Time for takeoff. Brace yourself.
Disappear! Worthless!
On the bright side, guard ones don't seem.
Boring! Useless!
Steadiest.
It's nothing.
Submit. Give up.
It's nothing.
Useless!
Yahoo!
Shut it!
What the hell? I was outside of that range. I will say it's being stupid though, so.
Evil conquering! Kier! 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 Worthless! Kier!
Brace yourselves.
I must leave no.
Give up. It's nothing. Yahoo!
Don't waste my time.
Okay. Ooh. Oh, this is wicked cool. Okay. And that should have been the last teleport marker. Yeah, unlock all teleport waypoints. Nice. Let's see, Sakura's flavor. Not Sakura flavor, Sakura favor. Let's see. Wecker, Electro Sealy, need 4 of them. Oh. If I had to imagine, it'd be 500 chests for the final one. So, be like 331, give or take. Unless it's like 400, either would be reasonable. Max statue. And unlock all of the shrines of the depth. Might be getting this one. Hope that's better. And these two, which. How?
Boring! Useless!
What's one more?
Are we pursued by the Shogun's lackeys even here? No.
Prepare to die, fool!
Give up.
Did you just. What?
Think you can get away? What?
Leave it all to me.
It's nothing. Submit.
Lament! Worthless! Is this retribution?
Yo, the anime god is looking down disfavorably upon you, bro.
Let's play.
This will do!
I must leave no stone unturned, as a dutiful maid would.
Yo, best sword.
Steady as stone.
I'm ready! Cheap!
Your life is mine. Don't waste my time.
Useless!
Time for takeoff.
Leave it all to me.
Brace yourself.
Useless!
It's nothing.
You be nice to Noel.
Don't waste my time.
Like whistling in the wind. Alright, this precious chest. Not bad. Not bad. Need a little bit of fire to cook. Light shining on here and going through there. I will say, the dude sure picked a scenic spot. This is just so trippy because it's like, how in all of the realms that exist would this have happened? But it did somehow, and it's just, oh, I just love looking at this game. Instead of slipping through a mysterious portal that yanks me into this lair. Big brother, don't worry, mother will reach. Bullshit. I'm very curious at what happened. Where are your parents gone, child? Hmm. What am I short? I'm either like short meat. I'm short. Well, I'm low on eggs. Snapdragon, ignoring that. It's fish. This also takes one. It is. Please. I mean, 20. It's the shrimp that I'm out of. That's fine. That's fine. Let's see. One. Eat, which I'd rather not use. Here, it's the mushrooms. Hey, I don't mind making 8. Hmm. Hmm. Depends. Do I want the instant health? Well, I'm low on this. I'm low on this one, so this is the one that'll make. Oh my goodness. It just occurs to me that I might have been speaking far too quietly to be heard. If so, I'm deeply apologetic. I don't intend to mumble. Although I am trying to break the habit. Who is your mother, child? Okay. Hmm. Yeah, I'm not going down into the pit with that. That was painful. Okay, so that's where I want to end. All right. It does delight me to say that I understand basic puzzles. Oh. Oh my gosh, that damn near gave me a heart attack. Oh. Well. I think that master had a mansion here, I suppose. That seems that we're going to pass this way as well. Lady, what's her face? I'm nowhere near that. I object on the basis. got that, which then, considering how far underground this is, it makes me worried about that one, and then this one, possibly. This one for sure. Yeah, this one for sure. This one's a maybe. Anyway, since I do suppose that since I have no intention whatsoever of fighting that boss, although simply out of curiosity, I'm inspecting these stairs because, you know, stairs are a thing that exist in the world. Would you look at that? The boss. No. Yeah, no. No. It's a no from me. Anyway, since we're right here anyway, why not? Let's challenge this domain. Fire, electro, ice, and animal. This was once the final abode of a Tengu warrior incarnate. Having since forsaken the world, it falls to you to solve the riddle they left behind and defeat the trespassing bandits. All that's missing is ice. If I go here, then all that's missing is Animo. I don't know. Wait, no, I need the fire. So I need fire, ice, electro, and then I just need Animo, and I'll switch in Zhao
Conquering
for that,
demons is what I do.
because Zhao hits like a truck, and even though I don't have a healer, that's okay. We don't know if that's more or not. Look in the bag.
Here.
Could you imagine? There's this ladder, and it goes to here. Such a shame. Just always have 3 looks around when you take 2 feet. You know, I'm not even intending to go for these amulets. I'm just like exploring. Because it's like, I saw the right path. Let's see, 20, 20, 20, 20. Number's good. What about you, Kaya? No. Okay. One of those enhancing, 3 and under. Don't mind me, darlings, just thinking. Thinking a million thoughts. I'm doing my best to try to plan ahead, I guess. On the bright side, it does look like with this one, there's only 2 enemies. Oh, always love when I get the ×2 bonus. I'm like, hell yeah. 2 for the price of 1. Yeah, crit damage, crit rate, that's awesome. Absolutely love this. I mean, the HP one helps make Kai a bit more tanky, I guess. Oh my gosh, I got the 2× bonus twice in a row. That's awesome. Okay. You never know, it could be lying behind anything. Just one guy? Nah. There's a secret second.
Let me try my blade.
You're in for a little shock. You've been a naughty boy.
Cheap tricks.
Let's spark things.
Let it rain.
This moment will be frozen in time.
Blitz.
Take this.
Evil conquering. Worthless. Here.
I'm ready.
Shut it.
That won't.
That was so stupid. He had plenty of health. Oh my god. Burn.
Dodge this. Cool it.
Go, go, Barret Bunny.
Hip, dip.
I'm ready. Cheap tricks.
Yep.
Huh?
Hit. Blitz.
Let me try my blade.
Dodge this. Oh, so sorry.
Now you might think, well, I'll just finish off that guy. Not necessarily a good idea.
Try not to enjoy the.
No one escapes, guys. Keep draining.
I'm ready.
What's the hurry?
Random. Anyway, 47 seconds. Why am I suddenly freaking taking damage? What's the little stupid fireball?
You're in for a little shock.
Fall before me.
This moment will be frozen. Lament!
Oh my god.
Shut it! Worthless. Here! Worthless. Here!
That won't.
Worthless.
Cheap tricks.
I freaking dodged, you pinhead. Ugh, I cannot even believe that you have the audacity.
That won't work.
Cool it.
I'm ready. Cheap cut down.
Dodge this.
Yeah, that is exactly what I was trying to avoid, you stupid game.
Don't push your luck.
Didn't even attack. What the hell? How did Kaya go down? He was at plenty of health. Oh my god. Anyway, Amber, you're back in the ring. Where the hell is my revival stuff? I'm so irritated that I just, like, wandered right past it. Right past it in the food aisle.
That's
Fall
cheating!
before me.
Go, go, Baron! I'll never...
What the hell is with that stupid goddamn frickin' fireball?
One strike will suffice.
He, yeah. He. Come a little closer.
Taste my blade. One strike will suffice. I'm ready.
Let's spark things up a little. You've been a naughty boy.
Go, go, Baron Bunny!
Fall before me. Taste my blade. One strike will suffice.
Bet you can't keep up with me!
Come a little closer. Blitz.
Get him! You'll pay for
Taste
that!
my blade. Cut down.
Goddamn right you were cut down. Freaking hell, man. Bro. God damn. That was one hell of a fight. Migia, consider the domain cleared. Anyway, what I'm going to do is wander over to the Statue of the Seven and steal some healing from the local itch. Although I have no idea why it was like recommended elements. You didn't need any element.
This world is full of unsolved mysteries.
It is. Now we check in with our local Serenity bot. I always forget there's little teleport things. Oh boy. Okay. I definitely the Necoids. Necoids, violet grass. Let's see. Eucala lilies. Ooh, definitely need some mushrooms. Let's see, what else? What else? Let's see, and then let's see, mushrooms would be nice. And what do I want to complement them with? Carrots, actually. And then, in 2 days and 21 hours, they'll be ready. They take a long time to.
This realm is truly beginning to thrive.
Oh. Let's see. Anyone from my new team, Sugar? And that's it for the new team. Sure, what have you got in your realm depot? I wish somewhere here it said how many of a thing that you had. Because unless you're keeping very close track, it's actually really hard to tell, like, what have versus how much. I mean, like, how much of how much you have of each thing. Like, it's one thing to say, oh yeah, I have some of these, but it's another thing to say, oh yeah, I have like one of them and like 5 of another thing, and I don't want to just make another 5 things when it's just like, ah yeah, it was fine. I had enough. I had like 10 of them, but now I have like an extra 5. You get what I'm saying? Like, like that. Because I'm in the habit of
If
doing
you ever
that.
have.
I also know. I haven't been in much of a house realm building mood. Not that I don't like it, but just that I'm just like, okay, I've reached let's just say an equilibrium of I have enough of everything. It's like I'm not really looking for anything in particular. Hmm.
Ad Astra Abbot.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, having someone to go here would be nice, but it's like, seriously, only 5. Benny's getting meat and bird. Fish is getting stone. There's more stone, which is could be nice, but it's just like. And having a bit of more just always coming in. If, when, not that button. No, apparently not that button. Aha! 12 days. I have 4 wishes. I need 6 more. That is 100% doable. 12 days? Pshaw. When I get her, I'm very much hoping that she'll have a reduced area search. And should she, then I'm definitely... Then I'm definitely... And I'm definitely pulling the keying back. How's the reps, eh? An extra 50 to be level 3. I did the bounties, I did the quests. World exp 39%. So close, and yet so far. I hold to what I said about... I haven't said anything. What have I done right? Revenge, house, road, horticulture. Sacred Sakura cleansing ritual. I still hold that this should have been like at least 40. Like this is like a serious question. This isn't something that we just like show up. Where?
I'm sure the Kamisato clan will be fine.
Oh, click. Doing. Leave it to me. Ma'am, you're absolutely lovely. Alright. Now to these shipwrecks over here. That is where we need to go.
Useless. It's a lucky day.
No, it's not. I refuse to fight the dude. Like I told my cousin, these sealers are practically high. They are on something. Apparently the sealers
Boring.
are a solid object. At the very least, solid enough that you can't climb up on the thing. Never really occurred to me, but yeah. Yeah. Okay, so also yesterday-ish, we discovered this. It.
Worthless.
Yeah. So we have that. And it's still just like, ah, yes, do that one. And I'm like, okay, great. And it's just like, and I'm just here thinking to myself that I am desperately missing something, because that leads out. That out is not where we want to go.
Huh?
Maybe it's one of the fox statues up above. In case you wonder what I mean by fox statue up above, well, I'm a little disappointed. Because I would have thought that would have been fairly obvious what I meant. One of these. I am at a bit of a loss, I do admit.
Cool it.
Hmm. It's like, and over here, it's like, aside from finding crabs and seaweed, make like the ultimate crab wrap. Burrowing right down into stone. Frickin' metal. Hmm. But yes, this is what I mean when I'm like, I'm at a bit of a loss. Like with the other one, well, it was fairly obvious. Fairly. That I was just a little, stupid.
What's the hurry? This doesn't look good.
Okay, that's entirely my own stupidity. I am deeply apologetic, Kaya. I have a bad habit of getting you killed. Good grief. Sorry, Kaya. Oh my gosh. Yeah. This is the same hole, just from the other side. Yeah, see? It's like, just looking at it, maybe something's right there. I can see, because of the bush. Not exactly the something that I was talking about, but you know, I'll accept it, thank you. Yeah, like, I am looking as intently as I can. But it's just, where? Why? Got to be livid. That was right there. Maybe. When in doubt, try something else out, right? This particular island. I'm not sure if I've been to that one.
Dodge this.
Or rather, well, I don't remember what's on that one. That particular little island. And here, there's nothing. You got the Sealy, which I was half wondering if the Celia was what I was missing. Unless that's it. You know, if that's it, I wouldn't even be mad. That is, like, that is one hell of a hiding place. It is not. Hmm. Yeah, it's just like anything. Anything at all. And it's just nothing. Hmm. If this doesn't, if there's nothing over here, or rather nothing related to this Sakura, um, or branch extension, whatever you want to call it. Hmm. Oh, that little chunker. Memento lens, let's just see something. Isn't there? Mm-hmm. Ah. Hmm. Okay. Ay, ay, ay. It was literally just. Hmm. Basically, the only thing that I can think to do is to go back to Konda Village, which for some reason is labeled incredibly high. Konda Village is this marker. I don't understand. And speak with her. I might, cause like even Paimon was like, she thought she'd be here. Yada yada, so on and so forth, etc., etc.
What's the hurry? What's the hurry?
Mm-hmm. My my sense of direction pretty abysmal. Since I was just barely able to realize I had gone the wrong way. Okay. I need again. Find the board. Let me see. The scenes from the past. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. It's fascinating how little help a person can give. Like, absolutely, incredibly just fascinating.
What's the hurry?
Apparently. Oh, right. I said override in such a disappointed voice. I am glad that I got it. I'm so thinky. Hmm. Sure, while I'm here.
What else do I have left to do today?
These are You know about this plant? Well, I kind of know about it. I've seen this plant. Or I've heard people talk about this wonders. I remember that even in the absence of wind, this plant will tremble slightly to the sound of thunder. The ground if we're talking about appearance alone, it looks rather nice indeed. Would you like to gather some growing some micrograms? Oh, is that so? As expected of you. So you've already been gifted land already. It's no land. It's not in it. I heard of once a leeway, madam. Indeed, it would be more surprising if you were not gifted land for such deeds. Hey, this is the ring I'm talking about. Is the certain teapot that Granny gives, right? Can you really grow things in there? I can ask her. Okay, then let's go back and ask Granny. Oh boy. Oh boy. I am far too stubborn. No.
Take this!
There we go. When in doubt, tough it out. I have to get back to the... I have to get back there.
It's my lucky day.
Mm-hmm.
Going how's this? Dodge this.
I didn't mean to steal the tablet, but I did.
Cool it.
I would go in through this end, but I've been there so many times, and also this way is a bit faster. You know, thinking about that one guy who gave us the
Catch the
neck
wind.
seeds, I have feel like, oh my goodness.
What's the hurry?
Let me try my blade.
You've been a naughty boy.
Dodge this. Freeze.
For a moment, I was confused at what had happened to Kaya,
Hup, hey,
and then I remembered.
surrender and I'll be gentle.
Let it rip.
You're getting on my nerve.
Thunderclap. Lightning flash.
You win.
Dodge this.
You're in for a little shock. Hup. Hey, hey.
Freeze. What's the... Cool it.
Go for Baron Buddy.
Ready.
Bet you can't keep. Lightning flash.
Oh, so sorry.
Ah!
One strike will suffice. Fall before me.
Dodge this. That was...
That was stupid. Couldn't even get my feet under me. Boy, oh boy. It's not these guys that are killing me, it's the terrain.
expected.
Also, their absolute refusal to target Baron Bunny.
Taste my blade. Cut down. Like this.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I don't like you. Well, whatever the case, that's the fifth and final route. Seems to be behind us. The poof and give us a poof. What do you mean? Poof, what else was it supposed to be like anyway? Guess we finished the challenge. The sacred sucker cleansing ritual. Quite the ordeal, for sure. Walked almost the entire of Nekmari Island and went to the bottom of the sea. Finally so tired. I guess it's okay. Didn't this maiden say that we should go back to her after purifying all 5 routes? Paimon, I'm sure we get a reward. Listen to the barrier and the well cultivated behind her. There's the treasure is not I am more than slightly disappointed that this area didn't get undangerous. But that is where it is. I was like, what? Where is that? I thought I was going to the village, and then I looked. I was like, that actually makes sense. And my sense of direction once more sends me in the complete opposite direction. Okay. It is done. It's Mask Maiden, we're back. You did a wonderful job. I can hear the thunder Sakura roots singing your praises. I have something to confess to you. Go ahead, tell us. What is it? When you first acquired the Konda village ward, I said that you were the destined one. I didn't have full confidence in your virtue and courage at that time. But as the cleansing ritual progressed, you not only showed me my folly, but you also far exceeded my expectations, so much so that I can't help but feel sad. There had been someone like you by the Kitsune Sangu's side, then perhaps? No, nothing. I was just rambling. So that's then what's our reward? This isn't over yet, is it? No, it isn't. As expected of the one who could easily lift the 5 barriers, you have the ability to see through things like moonlight pierces the clouds. The sacred Sakura cleansing ritual has one more step to go. What? There's another step. As a price for protecting the land and absorbing the filth, the miasma will accumulate in the roots. You have lifted the barriers and defeated the demons created by these defilements. Just as the grand shrine has its branches, the Thunder Sakura are just the side branches. The Thunder Sakura are just the side branches of the sacred Sakura in Mount Yanga. The 5 roots are just the main parts. Most of the filth they absorbed has in fact been transmitted to the sacred Sakura deep within Mount Yangu. So the most important thing to do is that's right. The key to the sacred Sakura cleansing ritual is the last step, which is to lift the barrier over the sacred Sakura and purify the miasma that has accumulated in its roots. Wait a minute, the sacred Sakura is at the Grand Nakamari Shrine, right? If we tangle with those monsters right in the middle of the shrine, it would cause an uproar. There's no need to worry about that. The sacred Sakura roots are sealed in the depths of Mount Yangu, far away from the shrine. Say what now? Will there really be no problems? Yes, you can trust me. You say so. Guess we'll just have to do it. Thank you. Let's get this over with as quickly as possible. Oh, damn it. Okay, for a moment I was thinking like Mount Young, like the mountains here, the bottom of the mountain. Got it. Anyway, offer. Nice, got 2. And then level 17, not bad. Unfortunately, though, there are no more intertwined fates, which sucks because this one is an acquaintance fate, and then the next ones are also acquaintance fate. You'd think it would be the rainbow ones, but no. Sakura, you can block 8 instances of damage from some of the hazardous environments. Nice. Hmm. Oh, what was that? Hello? You saw that too, didn't you? I think I went down the wrong side of the mountain. Yeah. This is the final barrier of the sacred Sakura cleansing ritual. If the two of you are ready. Wait, before we start, Paimon has some questions. Feel free to ask. You said that when the time comes, you would tell us everything. Yes, but if possible, could we wait until the sacred Sakura cleansing ritual is complete? The sacred Sakura is constantly telling me of her agony. Still, I know it is rude to ask that you wait yet more. After all, you two have already done so much. I'm really sorry. I hope you can understand. I trust you. All right, but be sure to keep your word. Of course. Thank you both for your understanding. Well, I'm going to lift the barrier. East to the ocean depths, west to the cinder sea, south to the blazing light, and north to the waning waters. All branches and roots in this evil. Hmm. The water's draining. Fascinating. The seal has been lifted. Well, what's next? This is a long descent. Please forgive me, but you will need to jump in next. I don't think it's gonna work out well for me. It looks so scary down there. Paimon just knows something bad's gonna happen once we jump down. And don't worry though, the sacred Sakura root may brim over with filth. She can still tell the one performing the cleansing ritual apart from other things. She will bless you with a safe landing to cleanse the last of the miasma. This I promise. Really? Please, trust me. What do you do after we get out there? To put it shortly, just show your courage. The filth has condensed into a large tumor in the deepest part of Mount Yunga, and it is now tightly warped and suppressed by the roots of the sacred Sakura. Attack the miasmic tumor, it'll struggle when it is attacked, and it may create demonic creatures to stop you. During this time, you will need to use the surrounding mechanisms to strengthen the suppressive force of the sacred Sakura roots, just as you did with the 5 seals previously. The sacred Sakura will thus be empowered to coordinate with you and create opportunities for you to attack. Sounds really scary. Well, I fought worse. Yeah, we fought a god and survived. Scary demon roots. Not so bad. I believe in your strength. Now then, won't you be coming along? When the battle is done, I will meet you down there to finish the cleansing ritual. I am really sorry. As I said, I am prevented from completing this task by my physical condition. I hope you will understand. My own guess is this is it. So, how are your preparations going? I'm ready. Okay, please step forward and perform the final step of the sacred Sakura cleansing ritual. If there is anything you want to ask about the purification, feel free to ask you. Well then, I wish you all the best. Do again, and you to the bottom, you see the tuner, my creatures, yada yada. Sacred Sakura be empowered and coordinator attacks. What's the tumor really? Simply put, is a collection of filth that is accumulated throughout the land. The Abyss Order? The Abyss. I don't know much about the thing you just said, but it does indeed sound like something to father. It's always been sickness, playing with the land. It's hard to imagine what happened. See what she doesn't know. Practices. What's the tumor really? Like the Fatui? The Fatui? I fear that I have little knowledge of what you speak, but out there, the defilements of that sort. Sickness and evil in the land, etc., so on and so forth. Boy. Well, let's go down. Oh yeah, that looks oh god, god. It's clinging. Looks like we have a pretty soft landing to think we'd have to fight such a huge tumor. Still a battle waiting for us.
Try not to enjoy.
Go, Barry!
Cool it.
Take this! No escape!
Freeze.
I'm ready.
This moment will be frozen.
Bellowing thunder! Take this!
Come a little closer.
Cool it.
Bring down the barrier according to the image. Okay. Okay. So, if this is 1, then this should be 2. And this should be 3. This would be 4. And this would be 5.
Bet you can't keep up with me!
Um...
What's the hurry?
Oh my gosh. What? I did not. Or it would be absolutely wonderful if I knew one was two.
Get him!
Freeze!
Lightning slash!
Whoa, I didn't even realize that I was getting attacked by that thing until after it had nearly killed me.
Take this!
Dodge this!
Cheap shots.
Yahoo! Think you can get away?
Evil conquering! Worthless! Here!
Where the hell did he go?
Here we go!
Steady us.
You win. This.
So, one, two, three, two, three,
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
five.
Useless.
Let me try.
Time for takeoff. Yahoo!
Lament! Here! Worthless! Here!
I'm ready.
Is this retribution?
Submit!
That's not what I meant to do. I meant to do that first.
Leave it all to me.
Okay, Zhao, hi, how are you? Let's get you back in the fight.
Think you can get away? Would it gliding be fast?
Useless. For impossible.
Seriously? You're freaking kidding me.
Give up. Your life is mine. Time for takeoff.
I'll catch up. I must leave no stone.
Don't waste my time. Brace yourselves.
It was my honor to serve you.
Yahoo!
Taste my blade.
Here we go.
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Okay, now that we've got Zhao back. Come on, don't take it from me. Okay, here we go. And just like that. Be sacred. So I will get you back up, Noel, but I just want to be steam the OG. Oh boy. It is over. The agony that the sacred Sakura has been going through should have dissipated. Human child, you have done well. You truly are the destined one. Phew, what a tough battle. It's a good thing that Paimon had been training you well. Oh my gosh, thank you kindly, Paimon. Oh, come on, there's no need to thank Paimon so formally. I'll leave your payment for you later, as you agreed. You shall not have to worry about that. Wait a minute. Didn't we agree on something else too? After the Sacred Sakura cleansing ritual is completed, you're supposed to tell us your story. But we've been through a lot together. That's right, you can't go back on your agreement with us now. Alright. Before that, there is one thing that I am really sorry about. I haven't had a chance to formally ask you both your names after all this time. Well, I'm Azorwing. Azor for short. And Paimon's name is Paimon. Azorwing, Paimon. Nice names. I'll keep them in mind. As I said earlier, I did inherit the memories of the Kitsune Saigu. Ooh, Paimon's super curious about this part. The Kitsune Saigun was originally of the Hakeshun bloodline, and she used to defend the people of Inazuma alongside the Electro Archon. I don't know how long ago it was, but in the end, she was consumed by the dark disaster while fighting to protect Nakumani Island. However, the barriers that she had set up in many places protected a great many people, even though I just happened to have inherited her memory, and perhaps I overstepped my boundaries in saying so, but I am truly proud of her. Are you one of her familiars? Yeah, like the Sky and Earth Kitsune? Now that you mention it, I did notice a very similar Kitsune aura at the top of the mountain within the Grand Nakamura Shrine. That's not the case with me. I am not one of her familiars, but rather, a descendant? When the dark disaster that consumed her was finally dealt with, her thoughts and memories returned to the soil of Nakamari Island. Now you defeated many Akshamishur during the process of performing the sacred Sakura cleansing ritual. SSCR, that's what I'm calling it now. Did you not? You mean those ghostly samurai? They're pretty small beans. They are creatures created by the coalescence of filth. Their forms are often swayed by the thoughts and memories of the time. So then, are you essentially a collation of goodwill? Like, you're the opposite of what they are, then? Like, where they're the collation of filth, then you'd be the correlation of purity. Her memories latched onto you because of such. If you don't mind, please answer this question honestly. Is Inazuma presently shrouded in war? Why don't we take this ordering? I'm afraid that that seems to be the case. I see. So it is as I feared. When you told me that the Oshimaru appeared during the purification of Thunder Sakura root, I already sensed this. Well, as long as she is on the path she believes in. Back to the point. I, Hizaria, am the filth. Am the filth transcended from the memory of Kitsune Sagu. How could that be? See. I'm sorry that I couldn't fight along with you. I am unable to purify the filth because I was created from it myself. Ah, that makes more sense. For a moment, well, you were hearing me think out loud. I thought she was purification and that she was simply because she was like tied to the Sakura tree. Her memories were so powerful that the dark disaster could not dissolve them completely. After the disaster was defeated, those memories flowed into the earth as fiery filth. That's how I was born. I said earlier that if only the kitsune's Yugu had me around. Yes, I said that. If only the kitsune Sagu had someone like you at her side, perhaps she would have survived. How wonderful would it be if she had the chance to meet you? When I think about that, I can't help but selfishly think that if that had been the case, I wouldn't have been born. I wouldn't have inherited her memories, nor would I have met you. So the you that I saw through the memento lens, yes, that was me in the past. At first I was quite overwhelmed, but as my memories returned, I came to know where I was from, and I understood my duty. That means my duty is to guard Nakamori Island, cleanse the miasma, and finish the sacred Sakura cleansing ritual. Wait, Miss Mask. No, Miss Kasura. If you're filth herself, and the ritual's goal is to eliminate filth, doesn't that mean you'll be eliminated too? Well, the word eliminated sounds a bit much, but in terms of the result, you are correct. No, that can't be. When I first realized this, I felt very uneasy as well. But I've learned a lot about Inazuma through meeting you, and what I've learned relieves me. Yuri survived and doesn't seem to be repressed at all. Doesn't seem to be depressed at all, despite having been sealed in stone by Kanagara. And he doesn't seem to have a grudge against the Kitsune Saigu either. Although all is not well as it once was, the bloodlines of Konda and Simon in Konda Village still run true to this day, which is good. Unagi Matsu of the Grand Shrine was once her friend as well, and that line endures. These are the descendants of the people that she protected when the disaster struck. She would be proud to know that they are well and that their bloodlines have been passed on. Still, I was a little agitated by the destruction of the catalyst that was given to Hagari Hiroshi Kanju head by the Kitsune Saga. More than a little, I'd say. You're right, I was really bent out of shape about that. Still, I'm glad to see that it came to you, even through such twists and turns. I wonder if this is how I feel, or if this is how Kitsune Sangu feels. In the past, I was often troubled by the fact that her mind was mixed with mine, and yet I was also something she was tasked to remove. Now, I'm relieved. It was a pleasure and an honor to travel with you. No, rather it was because of you that I was able to come here and carry out my final duties. Are you really leaving? Yes. Thank you for everything, Paimon. Please forgive me for overstepping, Zoroing. Paimon, please hear what I have to say. I'm listening. Do not be blinded. Do not waver. Keep walking the path that you believe in. These were the Kitsune Sange's last words before her final parting. I am not qualified to claim the Hakushun bloodline for my own, but I believe if the Kitsune Saigu were alive, she would give you her blessing. I hope that her words, I mean my words, will be able to ward off at least some of the lies and evils that you shall face in the future. Thank you, truly. You're welcome. Hold on a second. Okie dokie dokie doke. And I have returned. In exchange, please indulge me one final time. It seems Seigu always favored the beauty of short chants, although I've inherited her memories and the 1,111 chants she lacked the grace she possessed with them. This moment reminds me of one such chant. When shall we meet again after this parting? For life is like the morning dew. It's Kazura. You and goodbye. It was a pleasure to meet you both. All branches and roots end this evil, and I declare it purified hereby. Oh, the loading screen. I don't.
Uh, uh, ah.
Sorry. For some reason I thought MC was gonna wear it. Oh, my darlings. There is so much yet. Bye.